Now, a number of Irish celebrity expats have lent their support to Connect Ireland, which is a new employment initiative which aims to create thousands of jobs in Ireland over the next 5 years by offering a reward to anyone who can help find expanding companies.
Joining us this morning to tell us more is the entrepreneur behind the initiative, Terry Clune, and Aoibhinn McNally from the Small Firms Association. But before we chat to them, let's take a look at some of the famous names backing the scheme. Now, this sounds like magic, and we have the man behind it all, Terry. Terry, good morning to you.
Good morning, Sinead.
Terry, explain to us exactly how this works. I mean, that ad is very inspiring, and you go, fantastic, let's tell everyone we're open for business, and hang on, I can make money while I'm doing that. So tell us all about it. Well,
we all have got connections overseas. We could have our second cousin, or we could have friends who we were in school with. And many of those people are working in companies that are growing. If they're working in a company who's growing into and expanding into Europe, our team really want to talk to them, because we can explain to them why they should locate here in Ireland. Lots of the biggest companies in the world are located now in Ireland, but we can create a lot more jobs in Ireland if we can get the smaller companies who are expanding into Europe to locate here too. And everybody has got connections overseas. You don't need to know the owner or the CEO of a company. Simply, your second cousin could be a receptionist working in a company, or could be an engineer working in an expanding gaming company. Those companies are all, growing companies are going to be basing themselves in Europe.
OK, Terry, I don't want to rain on anybody's parade, and you do mention the biggest companies. We've got Google, we've got YouTube, we've got all of those people in here, but they're attracted by the most attractive corporation rates in the world. Why would people, and they're doing business at such volume that it really is worth their while, why would people at the next level or two levels below that want to come to Ireland? I mean, infrastructurally we're not great, our broadband isn't great, our public service isn't great. We are currently losing the very people that these companies would be looking to employ at the rate of about 600, 700, 800 a week. So why are we attractive? Why would we be attractive?
There's a lot of really big advantages for Ireland for overseas companies, and some of the real simple ones are ones that can't change. The fact that we speak English. The Chinese vice president was here a few weeks ago. In secondary, when they're in school in China, they don't learn French or they don't learn German. They learn English. And here, Europe is the biggest market in the world now, and any expanding company has got to base themselves here. They've got to choose somewhere. They could base themselves in Germany or in France, or they could choose Ireland. And the big companies in the world have chosen Ireland for example, the fact that we speak English, or the fact that we're part of the Eurozone. So if they base themselves here, as opposed to in England, which is sterling, if they base themselves here, they'll be able to incur all of their
So we're a perfect gateway to Europe.
Absolutely, we're a key gateway into Europe.
We're also a good gateway for the Chinese as well, going the other direction.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we're in the centre of, between the US and Asia, we're in geographically, time zone-wise, in a really, really good location. But outside of that, also our people. Like, we have a key advantage in our people because we have really innovative people, really hard-working people, really highly educated people. That's a key reason why companies are coming here.
Okay.
And Terry, you're incentivising this with cold, hard cash, something the Irish understand very well. So if somebody helps you make this connection and it results in jobs, they reap financial rewards.
The reward is significant. I suppose we're operating this programme on behalf of the government. My company, we incur the costs, and we incur the costs of rolling out this programme, and then over time we receive payment back from the state. But also, for each job that's created, the person who introduces us to the company receives a significant reward. So, for example, if between yourself and your second cousin, who's a receptionist in a small medical devices company in Florida, if that company is expanding into Europe, let us know. Find out who you know and find out what the people are working at, because if they create 10 jobs here, you'll receive a reward of €15,000.
€15,000?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So
just for making the introduction,
yeah.
Just for the you don't need to do any more work. Just give us the introduction. That's all we need.
Aoibhinn, I want to bring you in here. You know, the IDA and the government are working overtime trying to get all the big ones in, and you can see why we're attracted with the corporation rates and all the rest of it. But the real problem for us is the domestic economy, which of course is basically your bailiwick. Now, how would this impact on that and help you?
Well, I think one thing it is first of all, it's creating the jobs, which is what everyone wants to do. Second of all, I think by bringing new companies into Ireland isn't such a bad thing. It's a very positive thing. Not only is it creating the job, but it's also creating further links and contacts. And a lot of businesses are getting very much into the whole networking issue, getting to know people, getting to know how you can make connections, and looking to see where you can actually help connect, develop contacts, make business. The reality is, though, that you want to ensure that a lot of those businesses are going to contribute to the domestic demand, that they're going to give certainty that's there, that they're going to maybe create a market where consumers will be willing in to spend. What you certainly would want to be welcoming in jobs, what you certainly don't want to see is that it's not going to help the domestic economy, which is where an awful lot of our small indigenous companies are faced. And what we need to ensure is that they're given the opportunity, as well as other companies coming into Ireland, to be given the opportunity to expand, grow.
So do you see this as being a two-way street, or how would it be a good two-way street for you?
I think it can be a two-way street, because I think anything that's going to create jobs at the moment has to be very welcomed. That has to be
well,
very
if people
much
are employed,
applauded.
they're spending money in
exactly,
the
and there you're going to have money being brought into the domestic economy as long as people spend it. And I think if you're going to create jobs, you see the more jobs being created, the greater certainty you're going to create within the economy. The more that people feel, okay, fine, there's a job there for me, I feel more confident now to spend rather than save. And that's going to be a very good thing, I think, then, for a lot of the indigenous-based businesses that are here in Ireland focusing on that domestic economy.
Terry, Mark was asking you there during the break. Mark said to you, why did you choose to do this? Now, I know you make money out of it as well, which is fair enough, you're totally entitled to do that, but you're also doing something just to help people out, just for the good of Ireland.
Why so altruistic?
Yeah.
I suppose in our business experience, I've an experience that I think I can put to good use to help make this work. The biggest problem we have in Ireland right now is creating jobs, and we can put it together.
You're too modest, and you're not going to say this yourself. Your company, taxback.com, employs about, what, 800 people worldwide?
Yeah, that's 800.
And it turns over, what, 190 million a year?
Yeah,
they're thereabouts. So would I be right in thinking that, and it's a very personal question, you can tell me buzz off, but would I be right in thinking that you're very successful, you don't really have to worry about you don't have any financial worries anymore?
I suppose for me, Mark, to be honest, I've got family living in Ireland. I have 4 small kids. I would like they to grow up in a country that is successful.
This is your way of giving something back?
Yes.
Was there a kind of a Damascene moment that made you go, do you know what, I need to do something? And if there was, what was it?
Well, there was a couple of, but I was talking to a lady in Kilkenny where we live about a year ago, and I asked her what connections she had overseas. She was in her mid-70s, and she told me that way back in 1820 her family left Callan, County Kilkenny, and went on and left to go to America. But she's still in touch with them. But that family went on to found the Coca-Cola company in 1896. They sold it in 1927 or whatever. But then a few weeks after, I was talking to my uncle, who was telling me that he plans to open up a sales office in Europe sometime during this coming year, and his plan is looking at doing it in France or in the UK. It never crossed his mind that he should consider setting it up in Ireland. And so his top of our list to try and get them to set up here in Ireland.
This is such a great idea, because there's one thing we're good at in Ireland. I know, I'll get him now. I'll get his number for you. I know Jim's brother, sister's wife. She'll sort you out. We are good at that.
And that's all we need to. We just need the connection. We have a team of we have 30 people in Kilkenny.
So how do people get in touch with you, Terry, if they think they have a connection that'll bring jobs here?
Well, they can text connect to 53131 as a starting point, and we'll call you straight back. Or you can visit our website, connectireland.com. We have a team who are dedicated. We handle all of. You just give us the introduction, and we'll take it from there. We have a team who deal with the company and explain why they should locate here, and handhold them into Ireland and create jobs. Then after a period of time, once the jobs are created, the person who introduced us to the company receives the reward.
Well, of course, it costs 18,000 a year for somebody who's unemployed. That's 36 grand of that. So even if there was a bounty of 5 grand per job, we'd still be saving the state the best part of.
Yeah.
From a national point of view, it's really cheap for the state. It's a cost-free way to create new jobs.
Terry, fair play to you. It's a really positive thing to do, and we need people like you doing things like this.
Thanks,
Great stuff. Thank you
Thanks both very much indeed. Now,